Hey, I'm Friederike and welcome to the new episode of Picnic with Picnic. Today I'm meeting Daniel Gebler, Picnic's CTO, and it's going to be a wild ride through Picnic's world of technology. I'm really excited to start, so let's have a picnic with Picnic. Hey Daniel, I'm super excited to have you here.
Thanks, Friederike, for having me.
How are you doing?
Very, very good. What a beautiful place here.
Yeah, tell me, what is that place and why are we here?
Well, this is actually a skate park in Haarlem.
Okay.
Fun fact, Haarlem has been one of our fastest growing cities, where we launched, I think, around 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But this is a kind of a place that connected me to a little bit my youth, where I did a lot of skating.
When did you actually start with skating?
So I did a little bit of skating already when I was in school, so 12, 13, 15, but I did this a little bit more intensive when I was studying, so around 20. We had a small show team, we were touring through Germany, doing skate shows and all this kind of stuff.
And why is that such a thing for you?
Well, skating is actually a sport that is very similar to tech, because on the one hand it's very creative, so you can you need to make all your moves, etc. But you will only make good moves if you practice it quite a bit, so if you hone your skills. And it's very similar to tech. So in tech you need to be very creative to find the right solution to a problem. And on the other hand, you need to actually practice quite a bit to write really the code that scales.
Did you also start with 12, 13, 14 in tech already? Or
Actually,
your first codes? Oh, wow.
Actually, I started already a little bit earlier. So that was a time where, I'm coming from the eastern part of Germany. If you actually ordered the computer, you didn't get the computer in one piece, but you had to put it together and all kind of stuff. And there I was part of the demo scene, where we actually built small demonstrations in 4K and 64K that were all kind of visual and audio presentations of what we could do.
And if you would meet that younger self now, what would you tell your younger self while working in tech is so cool?
Actually, if I go back in time, I would say, continue to work in tech, because tech has been already there cool. Tech is probably now cool, and then it will be hopefully ever always cool. I feel that there has never been a better time to be in tech than now, because if you see what we are building in Picnic, but also what is possible in the near future, is absolutely amazing.
Okay, talking about tech, our team has prepared a little quiz for us, and we're going to take turns. Everyone's going to read out one of the questions.
Oh, nice.
And thanks a lot. We're getting some signs, so we have to say yes or no to that question.
Very good.
Okay, let me start. The very first lines of code written for Picnic in 2014, 2015 are in Java. 3, 2, 1.
For sure.
That was a clear one, right?
And there was also Python and Ruby at some point, etc. So a lot of cool stuff. We push over 2,000 small improvements to our systems every single day, which means that our systems are running more than 2,000 builds per day for all the applications. 2,000
builds. That's a lot.
It's just 300 people. 2,000 builds.
Ooh, okay.
Log.
3, 2, 1. Okay. You said yes. Okay.
Oh, yes.
You also said yes. Yeah.
So we have per month around 1,000 pull requests, and then feature requests, another 1,000 upgrades, which means per day we have around 100, 200 changes times 4 times 2 brings us in the order of magnitude of 2,000 builds.
End of 2022, we surpassed 300 tech team members, which means we're roughly 5 times as big as in 2019. 3, 2, 1.
Yes. Well, we have for sure more than 300, 320 something. So,
okay.
And we're growing further.
Okay.
So that's very exciting.
What is the goal? How far are we going to grow?
So last year we hired actually more than 100 developers, so that's fantastic. We do a little bit less this year, but we certainly look for many developers, Java, Python, infra, front end, back end, everything. Cool. Last question. Oh wow, that is a cool one. Over 60,000 people actually visited our tech blog in 2022. 3, 2, 1. I don't think so. It's so many.
So it's a yes.
Really? Wow.
But now we talked a lot about numbers. So let's go back a bit. So why is working in tech at Picnic so cool?
So we talked already that we have a little bit more than 300 developers, which is now organized in around 35, 40 teams across 4 domains. So there's all kind of consumer technology, supply chain technology, data technology, and foundational technology.
Yes.
And every team is actually building either kind of a new cool feature for customers, or maybe is improving in the way how we are doing our fulfillment, or is working on all kind of new data insights. And then the foundation teams are working on all the stuff that is necessary in order to build tomorrow even faster and more cool functionalities for customers for our supply chain stuff.
Okay, and how long are you now with Picnic?
Actually, I joined already a little bit earlier, so that is kind of late 2014,
Yeah.
2014, a very, very small team,
Okay.
where we're sitting around the table and thinking a bit about how can we actually build an entire new business proposition for customers that fulfills kind of a core customer needs. And that was the starting point of building Picnic Tech and Picnic as a business.
And now you're the CTO of Picnic. And what brings you energy in your daily life, like working in tech?
Well, there's a lot of stuff that is obviously super cool, but I guess what really stands out is working with so many super talented people that every day build something very nice for customers, for supply chain, etc., but also seeing them grow and becoming actually really better every single day, and that they can run bigger kind of projects, solve bigger problems, etc.
Okay, and how can I imagine working as a CTO be like? So a daily day of yourself.
Actually, being a CTO changes drastically over time. So that means in the beginning you're essentially kind of an experienced developer, then you're a bit an architect, then you do a bit of tech management, and then you do work a little bit more on the strategy now. And what makes my day is essentially helping all kind of teams figuring out what is the right solution, then also helping to grow further the business in the tech teams, then working a bit on the strategy, and then to be honest, there's also quite a bit of administrative tasks, so there's all kind of audits, fundraising, etc. But nonetheless, this is all very cool stuff, and it's a nice package that helps basically tech, but also entire Picnic to grow further.
Yeah, you just said that we have one consumer domain, right? So we have our app for our customers, and I would be interested to hear a bit more about that. So what is happening in the background? What happens with the data? How is the system built up of that specific app?
So the app itself was one of the first systems that we have built.
Okay, and that was written in Java, I guess?
That was the backend side was written in Java, completely true. On the front-end side, we used native languages like Swift and also Java for Android. But at some point, the consumer teams actually realized that everything what we have to build here, we have to write twice, because we have once for iOS and once for Android. Yeah. And then the team said, well, we can do this much smarter.
Okay.
We actually use a language. It is the same language for both kind of platforms, and gets transpiled in the kind of the native languages. And that is how the apps are now organized. So there's a large part that is in React Native.
Okay.
And that therefore we can write every feature just a single time. So that's very cool.
You also touched it a bit, but how do you think in general probably technology has changed from when you started in like 2014 to now? A lot of years have passed now. Is Picnic differently structured, or
So the interesting thing is that the essential technology, so Java is a programming language, we use the same stack as we did in 2014-15. And it was already then a language. It was already had a couple of years behind it. Nonetheless, other technology has massively changed. For instance, the entire infrastructure. Infrastack, where we moved to kind of Docker to Kubernetes and all this kind of different technologies, has massively improved. Also on the front-end side, we were talking about this React Native, has also massively changed. Yeah. And in around 2017-18, we started to actually structurally build up also machine learning models and the kind of data feedback loops. So that means if today there is an order sent to a customer, then we're collecting all kind of data from the last mile, take this into account to train a model in the night, to make actually the prediction for tomorrow even more accurate.
That's super interesting. Funny that you also touched the artificial intelligence, because this full interview was firstly written by ChatGPT.
Oh, cool.
So we thought, okay, when we use tech, we should also do that. And
so am I talking to you or to ChatGPT now?
You never know, right?
Okay.
And can you also give a little like sneak peek of cool new technologies which will come in the future? Are you allowed to already share? Or?
Oh, certainly. So there's a lot of stuff that we are building on, and there is certainly stuff that we do now on the supply chain side. For instance, around fulfillment, where we built our hybrid fulfillment center that hopefully later this year will go live. We're building the work app. We talked a little bit earlier about that.
Exactly.
There's all kind of cool stuff, for instance, on the consumer side, where we now built a bundle proposition and so much more that will come this year. So stay tuned.
You already mentioned the work app. So we're actually not just building technology for our customers that they have a great user interface, etc., but we're also really checking for our employees that we can use this technology to help them make their life at work also easier. And
if you're now looking a bit into the tech team, then there is one part, so it's around 100 developers that are working on all kind of consumer related technology. But there's a similar sized team that is working on our supply chain technology, which is the purchase order management team, the warehouse management. And they are building all the apps that our shoppers in the warehouse, our runners are using, and many other people that work in operations.
We also touched a bit that we have different languages. So for example, Python, Java, and more. Are we also using for that different systems, or how are we structured?
The way how we have structured tech is that we have built product teams.
Yes.
And every team, this is our cross-function team, where you have typically a front-end developer, back-end developer, sometimes also data professionals, etc. Together working on a specific mission. And then there is a team that is working on the app. And then there are teams that work on our customer service solution, purchase order management, warehouse management, etc. For the different kind of languages, we need also language support. So therefore, the foundation teams have built a Java platform team that is a language support team for all the Java development that we do. Then there is a Python platform team that is doing all the Python platform.
That I know quite well already, yeah.
And the really interesting part there is that Java is mainly a language that we use in tech, while Python is a language that we use across entire Picnic.
Exactly.
So there we have also what we call the edge systems, where we have all kind of analysts from entire Picnic that are developing small tools and services that are connecting to our core systems and that have very important functionalities.
It's really
in
cool.
tech.
Yeah, it's really cool. And nice that we also have a full onboarding for those edge systems.
And we encourage every analyst to have a look to the Python platform and the tools that we have there to migrate maybe their Google scripts over time into Python.
Yeah. So looking into the people working in those different teams, how do we, because at the moment I guess it's quite a challenge also to get the correct people and also make sure that they stay with us. So how do we actually, make sure that we get the correct people in our teams?
We're looking for very talented people, and we are trying to identify where is a kind of a new joiner, a candidate, where is he currently? So what can he do in the first few months? But what is even more interesting is what can he do in a years or 2 years, 3 years time? So what is their development path? So what we have built over the last years is a career development framework, where you start as a junior developer and you grow into kind of different directions. On the one hand, you can grow in the direction of becoming a tech lead and leading a team from a technical side, but also you can become a staff engineer, where you become a real expert in a very specific technology or domain. Yeah.
Okay. So one is more into the more like management leading direction, and the other one is really specializing in one of the areas. Those are the different ways to
So
go.
you go more in the direction of an expert with staff engineer, or you go more in a managerial or leadership direction when you become a tech lead.
Yeah. I always also think that it's nice to have like role models if you're like new in your career and that you can follow some people. You also have role models, or did you have role models when you started working, or people you looked up to?
So there's a lot of people in tech that do interesting stuff. I find, for instance, Werner Vogels, who is the CTO of Amazon. Actually, he comes from Netherlands. Is a very interesting guy who has been doing first all kind of stuff and research, and then moved into industry and has built the entire AWS proposition in Amazon. But then also, for instance, Elon Musk is a very interesting persona. And then maybe Sam Altman, who has done ChatGPT and OpenAI, is a very, very interesting persona. Yeah.
Okay, and one last question before we finish this interview. If I want to become next CTO, what would you recommend me to do?
It is actually pretty simple. Just do it.
Okay. Just be the CTO, right?
No. The CTO is a result of actually doing good work in tech, designing systems that are scalable, and actually honing your skills up to the level that you become a role model for a large set of developers and engineers. And if that is there, then it becomes a very natural thing to grow in such a role.
Cool. Thank you so much for being here and answering all those questions.
Thanks for having me.
I would say you show me now how to skate a bit. And let's put on our skaters.
Let's do that.